According to an article published by the International Orangutan Foundation, every year it is estimated that between 1,000 to 5,000 orangutan are killed because of palm oil concessions. At a population of only 114,000, all three subspecies of orangutan have been placed on the critically endangered watch by the ICUN since 2016, with a 60% decrease in population and an 85% decrease in habitat over the last 75 years. If this continues, the orangutan will soon be extinct. The growing market for palm oil causes the deaths of roughly 1% of the orangutan population every year, but boycotting palm oil products that are uncertified helps to save what little population is left. As someone who truly loves animals, it seems careless to ignore the issues that my lifestyle could pose to the orangutan population, and organizations like the WWF and the ICUN agree. First, we'll discuss how the growing palm oil industry has stripped large sections of orangutan habitat. Second, how voting for legislation and boycotting can save orangutan lives. And last, how our effects can improve the orangutan population. First, the problem at hand. Poor consumer practice and unsustainable farming is destroying rainforests that the orangutan depend on to survive. As palm oil becomes a more valuable commodity, the industry pushes further and further into rainforest land. Large amounts of the world's population also rely heavily on palm oil for their diets and promoting economic growth. According to a report done by Grandview Research in 2026, projections suggest that the market size will grow at a compound rate of 4.3% every year from 2026 to 2035. The world's largest palm oil producers and orangutan population also overlap heavily. According to the WWF, Indonesia and Malaysia produce more than 85% of the world's palm oil and are the only remaining homes to orangutan. Roughly 10% of all orangutans live in areas relegated to palm oil production that make this habitat unlivable. According to the ICUN, an article published in 2018, the expansion of oil palm plantations into natural areas is responsible for greenhouse gas emission from deforestation and peat drainage and contributes to regional smoke hazard and water pollution. Next, we'll understand the ways that we can help. Efforts by the UN for rainforest protection are ongoing and difficult to manage, but there are individual ways that we can all help, like pushing for legislation that regulates unethical palm oil production. Over the last few years, the US has proposed bills to help protect rainforests, like the FOREST Act of 2021, which attempted to, quote, prevent agricultural commodities produced on illegally deforested land from entering the US market. However, these bills have all been denied. Voting for Congresspeople that support bills like the Forest Act is important. Some countries have already passed similar legislation, such as the EU's Deforestation Regulation Act of 2025. According to an article published by Meridia in 2025, the regulation blocks products linked to deforestation, and later, palm oil operators cannot place non-compliant products on EU markets for any circumstance. We can also boycott palm oil products released in American markets without proper protocol. Products with an RSPO label have been approved as not supporting unsustainable farming methods. Buying products with this label gives economic incentive to large businesses to follow proper guidelines and protocol. According to the RSPO website, purchasing RSPO certified products helps independent smallhold farmers gain access to international markets and receive support for sustainable agricultural programs. Lastly, let's look at how our efforts can make an impact. Because of how recent widespread palm oil programs are, it's hard to see immediate impact. However, we can see some small changes and also predict possible changes. New legislation can limit the ability of companies to take advantage of consumer demand by making products that are not certified more difficult to enter into the market. In the coming years, we can hope to see legislation that physically prevents unsustainable palm oil products from entering American markets. Also, the RSPO incentivizes companies' compliance with sustainability guidelines and gives consumer easy access to supporting the cause. In the coming years, we can hope to see an influx of new sustainable products and an outflux of the unsustainable ones. So, to review our points, palm oil production causes the destruction of orangutan habitat and it grows every single year. To protect the orangutan, we must boycott non-certified products and vote for protective legislation. Because of government and individual efforts, we can hope to see the rainforest protected and the orangutan grow and thrive in the coming years. The next time you find yourself shopping, be sure to check the labels for an RSPO certification to save an orangutan life. Lastly, for my visual help, we have a graph here. It's hard to see on the screen, but in the middle here, we can see all the areas of the rainforest that are currently being used for palm oil processing. You can see, as compared to the other graphs, which also propose possible threats to the orangutan population, the palm oil production is exclusively in the red and yellow, which means it's a moderate to severe threat to the population. It is also exclusively red and yellow, whereas other zones have some green where it's not as much of a threat. It's an incredible threat in any zone where palm oil production occurs. Thank you.